My name is Tom Rogan. Snoring to my right is my little brother Chris. We are family, we are fly fishermen, we are wanderlust enthusiasts. We're currently living in our vans in Austin, Texas. We're applying to be the inaugural Howler Brothers Privateers, and this is our story. We were born in New York, not far from the Canadian border, but we moved across the country to the Arizona desert when we were still pretty young. Being little kids in Arizona forced us to develop a strong passion for the outdoors, and our adventurous father taught us early on about the immense respect and appreciation that Mother Nature deserves. He also taught us that the only real way to show that respect and appreciation is through total immersion.
As we grew up, we also grew closer, but Tom moved off to Wyoming to go to tech school almost immediately after graduation. He went to learn about auto mechanics and to further develop his welding skills, but the most important thing he learned there was how to fly fish.
Wyoming is humbling because, I'd just gotten out of high school. I was out of high school like a month before I moved there, and it was in Phoenix, and it was 120 degrees. And then when I got up to Wyoming, there was like this freak snowstorm, and there's 2 feet of snow on the ground in June, and it's just such a wild place. It's untamed. You could sit in a meadow and watch a brown bear walk through the grass, and you could, there's elk as far as you could see on the side of the highway migrating south, and it's just, it's unbelievable. It's just one of those places. Change your life.
Tom finished school and moved back home, reuniting us to continue our adventure for several years. But a short while later, he moved to Austin to break up the monotony and seek new horizons. It was here that he started taking fly fishing seriously, transforming it from a hobby into a passion.
Shortly before I moved to Austin, Chris joined the Army. He went to basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and was finally stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky with the 101st Airborne, only about 2 hours from some of the region's best fly fishing. I tried to get him to pick up a rod and get after him, but in October of 2012, he ended up deploying to Nangarhar province in Afghanistan. A year later, he came home safely, and I finally convinced him to buy a rod, and he was instantly addicted.
I fished the Cumberland at Wolf Creek Dam every chance I got, and on April 25th, only a few weeks ago, I completed my contract with the military and got out of the Army for good. I moved here to Austin in my camper van to live alongside my brother in his van, with the goal of spending the next few years bouncing around from place to place, seeking our next adventure. I think that my brother would be the ideal Howler Brothers Privateer, because even though he may seem like a jerk at times, he is passionate, down to earth, and a simple soul. If he were given the position, it really wouldn't change his life very much. He would still live in a van, fish, camp, and experience all that Mother Nature has to offer every day. Except for the fact that he would get to travel around the country, selling your awesome shirts, out of your van, which unlike his has air conditioning and reliable brakes, all while spreading your image and reputation by way of his charm, likability, professionalism, passion, and love for the outdoors and the world around him.
Everyone says one day I'm going to do this, or one day I'm going to go here or there. Well, one day's here, man. Quit talking about it and just do it. Oh, one day I'm going to drive a Howler Brothers van across the country. I think Chris would make a perfect privateer. He was in the Army, an infantryman for God's sake. He just does whatever you tell him to. But he's a really hard worker, and he drives me to work harder and do more. I think we're both good for the job independently, but together it's kind of perfect.